Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Malaysia for round 2 of the 2003 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located approximately 80 kilometers south of Kuala Lumpur, the modern Sepang circuit combines two notable straights with a demanding mix of slow and medium-speed turns. This dedicated motorsports facility is the first of a new breed of circuit capable of housing over 100,000 spectators.
As always, we start off with qualifying. We come around to finish our lap, and that is a 142.459, which I felt was a bit slow, but oh well.
Hello there. Welcome to Malaysia. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Schumacher first. Raikkonen second. Montoya third. Coulthard fourth. Alonso fifth. Button sixth. Webber seventh. Cristiano Damata just got the edge over his teammate. He starts from eighth. The Toyota driver endured a lackluster qualifying session and faces a tough start in the midst of the chasing pack. He starts ninth. Nick Heidfeld, 10th. Verstappen, 11th. Fisichella, 12th. Frentzen, 13th. Justin Wilson, 14th. Schumacher, 15th. Jarno Trulli, 16th. Barrichello, 17th. Ralph Furman failed to get anywhere near the pace of his championship rival, the Toyota driver. Antonio Pizzonia, 19th. Villeneuve, 20th.
So here we are on the grid, this time with a slightly more normal lineup, although we do have Webber just in front of us who is in 7th, and we have Barrichello and Ralf Schumacher in the back, and an interesting note here being Jacques Villeneuve, who was disqualified for exceeding the lap number allowed in quali, so he starts from the very back of the pack. But the race has started and there's already an incident. I tried to go around the outside of the McLaren, however, that didn't quite work. We are now exiting turn 1 and I'm still in 9th, and it seems like my teammate has fallen behind quite a bit. But now we have a replay of the start. Everyone is off. Jacques Villeneuve in the back there already jumped a few places, so that's good for him. And for some reason I decided to take the inside line when the outside line is much more favorable here at the start of a race. I do take the outside line, but only after we're halfway through turn 1. It's alright though. We're now riding with David Coulthard. Raikkonen is up in front. Coulthard has a brilliant start, however, Raikkonen doesn't and they end up making contact. I've noticed this for a while now. Coulthard always has better start than Raikkonen. Anyway, I was having a look there at Coulthard, but I came from too far back to make it stick. And now he's pulling away. All the while we have another incident. This is starting to look like the 2002 season, where we had first lap incidents in almost every single race. So here is Heidfeld in his Sauber. He's coming up on the Minardis of Wilson and Verstappen, and he plows straight into the back of just Verstappen. And another look from on board the Sauber. Heidfeld passes Wilson and crashes into Verstappen. To be honest, that was a pretty ambitious move there. I'm surprised though that Heidfeld didn't lose a wheel as well. With that we have our first retirement of the race, and I tried to go flat out through here. That obviously didn't work, but it might with a more modern car which generates more downforce. Anyway, Coulthard is pulling a nice lead now. He's about 3 seconds up the road, and I have Jarno Trulli just 1 second behind. What's he doing so far up the field anyway? As I said last time, he might be driving a Renault, but that doesn't change the fact that he's Jarno the mobile chicane Trulli. But we're now coming around to finish lap 1 of the 2003 Malaysian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I was unable to gain any position, but on the bright side I didn't lose any either. And now I'm suddenly catching up to Jenson Button. Something must have happened for me to catch up so much, so suddenly. We are still on lap 2, and there's a McLaren that went off the track. Who could it be? I think it might be Raikkonen. If it was Coulthard, I would have seen it happen. And I'm having a look at Jenson Button, and we are through and in the points. Well, I already was in the points when I passed the McLaren at the side of the road. And here is a replay. Raikkonen is chasing after Fisichella, I believe. They come into this double right-hander. Raikkonen taps the rear of the Jordan, sending him into a spin and off the track. Oh, and the same happens to my teammate. What on earth? Two different cars in the same corner on the same lap. So Damata was following Trulli. They come into the corner. Damata clips the rear of the Renault and goes for a spin. That was quite interesting and would have not known about it if I hadn't seen it unfold in front of me, since my mechanic seems to have taken a break whilst this was taking place, and I again tried to go flat out through here, but to no avail. I should probably stop doing that since it's not helping at all. At the end of lap 3 I caught up to Fisichella and I think we're in a pretty good position to overtake him. Make use of his slipstream and we're now back in 7th. Jenson Button is next, and my mechanic is talking out of his ass. Not sure where he gets his information from. Jenson Button is starting to pull away. Hopefully I will be able to catch him. However, Fisichella is right on my gearbox and he makes an aggressive move on the inside. I felt that in the steering wheel. He bumped me quite hard. Luckily my suspension is intact. It would have been quite a chore to finish the race with a damaged car. I was about to finish lap 5 when I was informed that Trulli was having issues with his car. So let's have a look. And here's Trulli in his Renault chasing after Justin Wilson. They come through the penultimate corner when Trulli's car starts pouring out black smoke, and he's out of the Malaysian Grand Prix. That was on lap 5, this is now lap 6, and I'm very slowly catching up to the cars ahead. Hopefully it won't take too long to move up a couple more places. We're now coming around to finish lap 7, and we have Schumacher in 1st, Alonso 2nd, Montoya 3rd, Webber 4th, Coulthard 5th, and Button 6th. And we also have an incident. We saw the crashed McLaren of David Coulthard to the right, but let's actually look at a replay. So here's Coulthard in his McLaren, followed closely by Button in the BAR. They are coming out of the last corner of the track to finish lap 7. We see Montoya and Webber at the bottom of the screen. Coulthard crosses the line to start lap 8, then his engine gives up. Oh, and then some Button crashes into the back of the McLaren. That was quite unexpected of him. You should have seen that coming. Anyway, I managed to pass Button, so I'm now up in 5th, with Mark Webber some 9.5 seconds ahead. That's going to be interesting, trying to catch up to him. And how is he a frontrunner anyway? He should be somewhere in the back. And my teammate has made contact with Kimi Raikkonen and it sounds quite serious. Let's have a look. And here's Raikkonen, still racing Fisichella. They once again come into the double right-hander. Raikkonen does the exact same mistake he made a few laps ago, but this time Damata was a lot closer to Raikkonen and crashed into him, causing Raikkonen to lose a wheel. And Barrichello also got involved in the accident. I have a feeling this still isn't the end. And here is Rubens Barrichello, sandwiched between the Sauber and the Jaguar. They come through the double right-hander. The Sauber and the Jaguar make it through cleanly, but Barrichello crashes violently into the McLaren. That was quite horrifying. A crash like that is sure to ruin your day. Would that even be survivable? I know that modern F cars are quite good at absorbing impact, but that to me looked like it could have been fatal. And the carnage continues as Montoya crashes into the Ferrari of Barrichello. And now I'm coming into this double apex right-hander. There's the Toyota of Damata. I lock up my wheels and almost collide with it. Thankfully I got through cleanly, but only just. And here is Juan Pablo Montoya chasing after Michael Schumacher. They come through the double right-hander. Montoya goes really wide and crashes into the rear of the Ferrari of Rubens Barrichello. However, it looks like he only lost his front wing, so he should be able to continue racing. And the carnage continues. This is starting to look like the Italian Grand Prix in 2002. Remember that? The race that I won without even really trying too much? Anyway, let's see some more replays. First up is Ralph Furman in the Jordan. He comes through the right-hander, goes really wide, attempts to go around the McLaren but gives up halfway through the maneuver. And we're now riding with Antonio Pizzonia, and I decided to change the camera angle because the trackside one was starting to become tiresome. Pizzonia also goes wide through here and crashes into the Ferrari. And I think that the Ferrari has now lost all of its wheels. Wow, what a mess. On the bright side though, that gave us second place in the race, which is absolutely amazing. It would be even more amazing if I could hold on to this position, but we'll have to see. At the end of lap 14, I had to come into the pits for fuel and tires, and look at that, I'm about to be passed by Alonso and Mark Webber. Wait a minute, how is Mark Webber keeping up with the Renault? Okay, I would understand if it was truly he was chasing, but Alonso? Don't get me wrong, I think that Webber is a pretty good driver, and he did later on in his career demonstrate that he is more than capable of winning Grand Prix, but a Jaguar keeping up with a Renault is a bit too much in my opinion. Anyway, I've now fallen down to 4th, and if those two don't have to pit until the end of the race, this might be where I will finish. This is lap 18 and I've been informed that both Alonso and Webber are in the pits. This is going to be very tight because in the last 4 laps, they managed to pull away from me quite significantly. And there they are, both in the pits. I'm coming around the hairpin at the end of the lap. Alonso is off the jacks. Webber is now also off the jacks. This is so close. Come on, come on. Yes, we did it. Perfect undercut. Let's hope we can keep second. We are now on lap 24, just 3 laps away from the checkered flag. Alonso is all over my gearbox. I run really wide through the penultimate corner and lose a position. However, I tuck in behind the Renault. The slipstream pulls me along, flick the car to the left, and I'm back in second. Hopefully that won't happen again, because if it does, I don't think I'll be as lucky next time. So let's stay focused. And we're now coming into the hairpin for one final time in the 2003 Malaysian Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher has won the race. Fernando Alonso is still on top of me. We exit the hairpin and it seems that I'm able to keep my position. And there I go, celebrating my second place finish. That was quite welcome after the appalling result in Australia. And of course I lose control of the car on the cooldown lap. Never mind, second place is very good for a Toyota. And Mark Webber just crashed into me. Ah, who cares? I've finished in second. Although it's mostly due to the fact that most of the top drivers retired. I probably would have still been able to finish in the points though, even if they wouldn't have retired. I probably would have ended the race in 5th or 6th, but I'm very pleased with this result. As I should really. Anyway, let's take a look at the standings.
It's been a scintillating Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. Michael Schumacher first. The Toyota driver second. Fernando Alonso third. Mark Webber fourth. Montoya fifth. Giancarlo Fisichella sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Juan Pablo Montoya takes over the lead in the Drivers' Championship.
So Montoya takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship with 12 points. Michael Schumacher is tied in second with teammate Damata with 10 points. I move up into third with 8 points, position which I share with Ralf Schumacher. Alonso is in fourth with 6 points. Frentzen and Webber share fifth with 5 points. Villeneuve and Button share 6th with 4 points. Fisichella is 7th with 3 points. Barrichello 8th with 2 points. And Ralf Furman 9th with 1 point.
Williams stay ahead in the Constructors' Championship, despite having their lead reduced by this result. Toyota are second, followed by the third place Ferrari.
Williams take control of the Constructors' Championship with 20 points. Our team is second with 18 points. Ferrari are third with 12 points. BAR are fourth with 8 points. Renault fifth with 6 points. Sauber and Jaguar share sixth with 5 points. And Jordan are 7th with 4 points. So, after a pretty poor start to the season, we managed to score some points here in Malaysia, finishing in a solid second place on my birthday no less, so that's pretty good. Although nowhere near as good as Jean Alesi's 31st birthday when he won his one and only Grand Prix, and that was the 1995 Canadian Grand Prix. I remember cheering him on when he finally took the lead of the race. So I finished second place, but that would have not been possible without the retirement. My Toyota is unfortunately no match for Ferrari, McLaren, and even Williams. So I was just lucky this time. Next is the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's probably the race that most people think of when they think of the 2003 F1 World Championship. And it was indeed a very memorable race, with Fisichella winning his first ever Grand Prix. But it's also memorable for the crazy racing and all the retirements and the number of times the pace car had to be sent out. We'll have to wait and see if our version of the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix is going to be as crazy as the real one. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.